Okay, great news. Tomorrow, our first podcast is releasing, and it was the costume designer that we talked to.
Yay,
And
Shepard.
I decided to name the episode Behind the Seams.
Hey, look at
Okay.
that.
Creative,
Look at you go. You're so smart, Mr. Craig.
Now you've set yourself up for every
Yeah, now I-
episode.
Now I have to name all of them, and I was literally going through them, and I'm like, what have I done? What have I done? Season 1, episode 1, season 1,
Because now
episode
you
2.
can't, right, you can't only have one good episode name. All of them need to be just as good as that one.
That's the bar. You set the bar.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm not terribly creative when it comes to things that are...
Arguably, I think you are.
Yeah, I mean, you came up with
Well,
such...
they're just saying that because they don't want to have to do it.
We will help you.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll help.
So
Ask us.
We
to
will help you do it.
Is that Merchant's Craft?
This
I don't
is
have
Merchant's
Merchant's
Craft soft drink.
I have never heard of Merchant's Craft.
It's really
Neither
good.
have
Is it just
I,
like a
honestly.
Washington native brand?
Maybe, but
Is it?
it's super
Probably.
cheap, so that's
Super
why...
cheap, and it's
It's a
I
very
got it.
Washington.
They
Lovely.
have like a green apple flavor, and it's like the best thing I've ever drank in my whole life.
Ready,
Okay,
go. Introduce.
First up, one question: how is your last name pronounced?
Yes.
Hagopian.
Hagopian.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They made fun of me because I ask every guest how to pronounce their name, and then they're like, "Why would you do that? It's obviously Tyvik." And I'm like, "Well, because sometime it's not going to be Tyvik." And
What
pronounce
else would
it
that
wrong.
name be?
but that's the thing, is I want to make sure that we know exactly how do you
Tyvik?
pronounce his name?
No, I make fun of you for not looking it up
I totally forgot
beforehand.
How am I going to look it up? I type to him on
Um,
LinkedIn and then say,
on
"Hey,
Google.
can you?"
And you have the little lady who's like,
I wonder if they would be correct. Whoever.
That's probably not good.
right?
Yeah. Well,
Maybe on
Hagopian.
Google was correct. When I
Hagopian.
looked it
Yeah.
up. Hagopian.
Hagopian. That's a fun last name. I met a guy with the last name Navarro, and I thought that was a really good last name.
Is it?
That's a cool last name. Yeah, I like
Brother.
that.
I've used the name Navarro in a couple of things because I think
Yeah,
I liked
It's
that
very
name
fancy. It's very
previously.
storybook character.
Right.
It's
No,
a pretty wild last name.
Why don't you go ahead and
Introduce us?
yeah?
All right, I'm gonna introduce us. I'm gonna ask you to introduce yourself after I introduce my co-star and myself.
Okay.
Just so you're
And
ready.
just leave me out
Oh,
here. I'll just no, it's fine.
Mr. Craig doesn't need to be
Mr. Craig
introduced.
doesn't need to be introduced. Give
Go.
I guess. Okay.
It's our first time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Initiative Podcast. I'm Lucy, and today I have with me my two co-stars.
Hello, I'm Jovi.
Yeah, Mr. Craig.
And today our special
So
guest is
unenthusiastic.
right here. This is Manny. You'd like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hello. Thanks for having me on this very exciting podcast. Yeah, I'm
Thank you
Manny
so much for joining us.
Hagopian. Oh yeah, thank you. Manny Hagopian. I'm a writer in the video game world.
Nice, nice. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. What was your
Sure.
first project that you did that was that felt like a real project to you?
Just like anything, not games, just like in my heart.
Anything that felt like
Man,
first
This
real
is a
project.
podcast about you, so it will be anything that it doesn't have to be about video games, it doesn't have to be about your job, but
How you got here? How you got
yeah, that's a fun question. That's so cool. That's such a fun question because I never thought about a project at the time being as good as it, as influential to me. It was just I was doing things. I was in a band when I was in
Ooh, that's
like
fun.
middle school and high school, so I guess it was probably that, which was a project, and I played drums in that and sang, but I also did a lot of the organizing of.
Oh no!
Frozen.
Oh,
and you did all of
is
that.
he ever gonna come back?
Sorry, I came back. Are we good?
Yeah.
My internet cut out there. I've been having
Oh,
some
you're
internet
so good.
problems. Are we
We're
okay?
back. We're back.
Yeah,
We're
we're all
back.
good.
Okay,
We're
okay. Sorry, that may
We can
happen
fix that in
again.
post.
Hopefully,
good.
great.
Yeah, no
Uh,
worries whatsoever.
Yeah, so I was in a band. I handled a lot of the booking of our shows, and eventually I started creating my own rock shows, and I ran like my own rock festival, and so that was kind of the things that I really learned about being creative, creating like the posters and being social and meeting people in bands, and then financial side of that. So that was kind of like the first thing I felt like, oh, I did the whole package, and making promo videos and all that sort of stuff.
What did you do in the band? Did you just promote the band, or did you play any
No,
instruments?
yeah, I played drums and sang.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm
No
sorry.
worries. And my brother was in the band too. He played guitar and sang, and we were, yeah. So that was sort of like our little pop punk band.
I have an idea. Guess Manny's brother's name.
Oh.
Roderick?
Larry.
I was gonna say Terrence. Any of
Well,
us?
Lucy, what was your first guess?
Roderick.
That was close. Roger.
Hey, not
That's so funny.
bad.
I was thinking Diary
Well,
for Wimpy
you
Kid.
congratulations, you
Fair
win
enough.
today's
Fair enough.
Yeah, you
today's
win the
game.
prize.
Yay, I
Right?
win the
The
prize!
prize is we have Manny here with us today.
That's such a mediocre prize.
No.
Can you give us some background about like the things that you have worked on in a professional sense, I
Sure.
guess.
Yeah. I mean, once from music, I made my way to Los Angeles and found myself into the world of
Chill out.
games. It's a long story of journey how I got into games, but that was my first game. That was something I was a writer for. Was a game called Titanfall. So I was brought on to Titanfall as I was working for a writer who wrote TV and film, and he also wrote games. I was his assistant, and he brought me in when Respawn, the studio, started, and they asked him to help write the world of that game, and he brought me on to basically also write. And so he and I kind of worked together with the game director Steve Fukuda to make Titanfall 1, and then I just kind of stuck around. They just kind of Jesse Stern was the name of my mentor. He kind of passed me off to the folks at Respawn, and for Titanfall 2 was the next game where I was more of a writer than Titanfall 1. So those were like the first professional roles.
So I have a question, and you guys told me to take the lead on this one. So this is me taking the lead. Okay?
Ooh.
So you can't be upset with me
Oh,
for
boy.
asking questions that now I get to ask.
You're so
And I-
good.
if
I'll,
this
I'll,
Craig.
I'll pop in when I've got
so
burning questions.
Titanfall.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 has been regarded as like one of the best written first person shooter games as far as like story is concerned, and it's so emotional, it's so amazing, everyone raves about it, the writing specifically, and it being really good gameplay, and like gunplay, and you know how you interact. What part of that game were you, I don't know how writing works, I guess, is
Yeah.
the big
Yeah.
question, is what does a writer do, and what types of writer does what, and who works on okay, I have questions. Turns out I have a lot of questions. and
Yeah.
I don't know how to ask a single one of them.
Literally had to write my own job description when I was full time. For Titanfall 2, Jesse and I were brought in again to like help shape the overall arching story of what they wanted to do, of this story that was being led again by Steve Fukuda, who was the game director. So he had the loose idea. We wanted to do a sort of a guy in his Titan behind enemy lines having to save the day and escape. Then the emotional journey there is that the guy isn't someone who's qualified to be in the Titan, and the Titan is probably one of the most incredible Titans ever made. So it's sort of like that cool balance, and one's going to learn from the other and show this unity. So that was sort of the stuff Jesse and I were brought on to start understanding the emotional story. Then it's like, what's the plot stuff? Like what happens in the game, which ultimately comes down to like how design makes cool levels. Where do those slot in? We have our beats of where we want things to happen, but where do we introduce different antagonists and different beats of emotional changes throughout the story and developments with Jack and BT? That's sort of like something that's loosely there, but it really depends on how those levels are designed. And because that is difference of making a video game, is progression of the player's experience is also part of this. You can't have a very complicated level, number one, right? Like it has
Right.
to grow and evolve. So once all that sort of that's one part of the development. The other part is then the writing. So writing the scenes that we have. So I did a lot of that with Jesse and Steve. A lot of stuff I started doing was I started working on developing that interactive dialogue system between the player and their Titan. And so I started writing little mock conversations they could have and finding where they could fit in different parts of the levels. Ultimately, I started understanding like this whole story of this game is about these two characters. It's about them learning from each other, them developing their relationship and bond greater than any bond between a pilot and Titan has ever been made. So as we started developing that, I realized how crucial those interactive dialogue moments were. And so those started becoming something that I was just like writing a bunch of different conversations and finding where they fit. And yeah, so that's sort of like the process. Then there's battle chatter stuff that happens in the background that is more world building. Yeah.
Does someone else cover the world building, or is that because like obviously you make the basis, but does someone else go in and do the tiny details and you focus on plot, or does that change, or how does that go?
Yeah, it's a good, might be true. For Respawn at the time, it wasn't because we didn't have a lot of people. So we didn't have a narrative team. I worked on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and that had a narrative team. There was 4 writers with a narrative director, and there were narrative designers and technical designers. And for Titanfall 2, it was me, Steve and Jesse. Jesse was like contract, so he was consulting most of the time. So I was in-house all the time working with Steve. Steve was game director, so he was doing everything else of leading the team, while so I would just be kind of working in a bubble. Some designers would help here and there, like if they really cared about the story of their level, they would do the writing. Mo Olavi did that. And it was really kind of awesome working with those type of people, as different types of designers care about different things. But no, when it came for that game, I was the one doing a lot of the like lore building, world building on the battle chatters type stuff. But Steve was always like the gatekeeper of that lore a little bit for that game.
That's cool.
There are rumors in this world that Titanfall 2 there was going to be a Titanfall 3, and that turned into Apex Legends. Is that how that actually played out, or was it conceived conceptually to be a different game entirely? Like was it originally supposed to be Titanfall 3 and then switched gears to the battle royale type gameplay that was it got really big?
Yeah.
And so, taking that path, being the what's hot now in market versus like narrative first person shooter gameplay, story based kind of thing. Is that true? You can tell
There's
me.
some truth to it. I'll say it wasn't a financial like what's hot approach.
Okay.
That wasn't really the justification for it. It was simply that the multiplayer for Titanfall is very challenging. Like it is redundant at times, and it's very, very hard to make maps work with these giant titans. So when we're talking about doing the next project, I think the multiplayer team wanted to explore other avenues and other modes that were beyond just the Titan experience to allow like the pilot mobility to really shine the way it did in Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 broke out like single player, just pilot moments where you can wall run and time travel. And then they had Titan moments, which are also awesome. But the separation was really kind of cool for the balance. So multiplayer started playing with some new ideas while we were kind of naturally you start thinking, okay, if we do another one, what would it be like? What would be the story? And so there was work being done on that. And then really it happened gradually, but I also feel like it happened kind of like that. Whereas like one day I think like multiplayer team was like, we got this cool new like battle royale type of mode thing. Does anyone want to try it? And we all started playtesting it and just friggin' loved it. Like it was just so fun, and everyone started having the best time. And really, that's what it came down to. This is a studio that chased the fun, not chased what was hot. Really, this was just really, really fun to play, and it made everyone very, very happy when they were playtesting and working on things. For me, obviously, it did kind of crush to not be able to do a story-driven narrative game.
Yeah.
But it still was something that was I was there every night and morning playing with all the team, the devs, while we're making that game, because eventually it was just following the fun, what made you happy, and what was super exciting. And I don't know.
That's the whole point, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There are people who don't do that, and it's.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still the case for everybody in every
close this
studio.
door because I can hear the other kids yelling.
Oh, the other kids. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what is so valuable and important. Is
Yeah.
at least for a small studio, it's very hard when you're a bigger studio, I think, to make
Yeah.
everybody happy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, more needs.
So we've
more.
heard from other people in that industry.
Yeah, too many people can make things. It's challenging, but it's beneficial. But it ultimately you can't make everybody want the same thing, and you shouldn't, because
Yeah.
I think that's zombies.
Yeah, right. That's
I
very
love zombies. I'm glad that almost every single episode that we do of this podcast gets me
Someone
to
brings
talk
up a
about zombies.
zombie. Heck yeah.
I do actually.
any
Oddly enough,
reason to bring up
I bring
zombies.
up
Any and
zombies.
every reason to
But why is it always
talk
like
about
werewolves
them.
versus vampires?
Right?
How come they're always at odds?
I
How
feel
come it's
like
not werewolves versus zombies or
Those are the top 3: werewolves, vampires, and zombies.
I mean, the zombies versus vampires is interesting because they're both like undead.
Yeah.
But like one of
Whoa.
them's like, well, how come I don't have a brain? And the other one's like, sorry, I wear
Yeah.
a cape.
I just
That's why I prefer Plants over Zombies.
Yeah.
Or Plants vs. Zombies.
so
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, I think that's the
Yeah.
truth right there.
Plants
It's
vs. Zombies.
you
You
just
know what?
nailed your first truth of the podcast. You prefer plants
I
over zombies.
don't
You're a
find
vegetarian over
I don't
carnivore.
find zombies scary. I
they're
like to talk
cool.
about
I love
zombies,
zombies.
but they just I'm like they're in The Walking Dead. It's called The Walking Dead. I don't know if anyone else is aware that they just walk and they're stuck most of the season because of a fence. And like how hard can it be? But you have like werewolves and vampires.
Those are famous last words. You're the
yeah.
the first one to go.
Yeah, let's
You're
like,
gonna hit a
That's what I
fence.
say, right? When the apocalypse starts, and then you're gonna hear this like soft clicking off in the distance, and you're gonna know what it is.
if it's normal zombies, I'll just walk slightly faster and then
Well-
like go around a corner and they'll forget me.
So you have no.
Yeah,
brains
if they were
Yeah.
normal.
No object.
But if they were not
permanence.
normal, if they were zombies from another universe.
There's zombies that run in
Yeah.
certain
Yeah, but I'm
Last
IPs.
of Us zombies.
in some IPs.
Right.
You would die.
Aren't they
Yeah.
fungal?
At all. Yeah.
Yeah.
The I Am Legend zombies were terrifying.
Oh man, the alternate ending to I Am Legends.
I know, I saw that one.
So
Mm.
good. And then
Yeah.
you watch the regular version, you're like, why would
Yeah.
Mm.
they
I
do
feel that way about Titanic too.
There's an alternate ending to Titanic.
How did
Did you ever see the alternate ending of Titanic?
No,
It's
no.
friggin'
the boat
Really?
the boat floats the whole time.
no. It's the present day, and
Uh-huh.
it's old Rose going to the edge of the boat to throw the heart in to the
Yeah.
ocean, and before she does, the whole crew ends up coming out, and they end up talking to her like as if they knew she was Rose all along, and then they all start singing, and there's like a whole singing moment, and I don't remember if she does actually throw the heart in or not, but you can
Interesting.
find it online. Like
Uh-huh.
it was shot. It was like it
Yeah.
was everyone singing
So
together. This
funny.
beautiful singing moment of the
They-
end.
As a writer,
to
how
watch
do you feel
that.
about that ending?
I mean, as a writer, I feel like I would have taken either one. You know, I'm more curious of what the writer really wanted and how he was convinced to go otherwise.
I'm just hoping that, in the alternate ending, she didn't throw out the diamond, because I was so mad when she threw like the $1 million diamond back into the ocean.
Maybe she
Girl, you could
she should have like thrown
your
it and then
family set
it was
life.
wrapped around her
Yeah.
and she actually
Yeah.
went in with it.
right,
And it was
like an anchor,
yeah.
sunk to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, and it's just dragging her down.
Wow.
Yeah,
that-
and then Jack grabs her.
yeah, Jack grabs her and that's her guilt that is dragging her down.
Yeah, her
Symbolism.
survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I could write.
That's some deep
You could
writing
write.
right there.
Behind the seams, Rose goes down with the pendant in her wrist.
The ghostwriter that they need.
Yeah.
Is
You
that
should
is
do
that a
that.
thing? Ghostwriting in the gaming industry?
Oh no, I don't
No.
think so.
No.
I don't know, unless I wrote something and then I feel regretful and I'm like, don't credit me. And
Oh,
I don't
that's-
know. I'm
that's
sure.
Wait, I didn't write that. Someone's
Yeah.
putting that on me. Check my Word document history. I didn't write.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's the thing. I think the writing of games has evolved, I think, a lot. Because like I said, when I started, I was the only writer at that studio. And the idea of a full-time writer for a studio wasn't even something that they had thought about. Like they often were either writers were the designers or the directors would also fill in and do the writing, or they would contract a writer, which was Jesse, my old mentor. They would bring him in because he wrote Modern Warfare 1 and 2, but he wasn't a full-time, like, a salaried writer at the Infinity Ward. He was a TV writer who was brought in to do some work. Jedi Fallen Order had that too. Matt Mitchovitz, who is a writer for Clone Wars, and he's doing like that Bad Batch and Darth Maul show now. He wrote with us on Jedi Fallen Order, but he was a contract writer. He wasn't a full-time Respawn employee. That evolved. Things that have evolved.
I love Bad Batch because the bad guy, the guy that, hey, have you guys seen it?
No.
Spoiler alert. I'm going to spoil it for you. The guy that talks like this is the bad guy. And I'm like, well, no, obviously. Who didn't see that coming?
That should be the twist.
The guy that, he should be the one that saves everybody.
Yeah.
It was the first thing that he said. I'm like, oh, that guy's going to be evil. He's obviously going to be evil. He sounds evil. It's like the guy, Jafar.
Jafar, yeah.
Exactly. Like, soon as you hear his voice, you're like, well, he's bad. He's the bad one.
Did he have like guy liner and like a crazy beard?
Scar over his face.
Yeah.
He looked evil. Yes. He absolutely looked evil. But that's I'm not blaming the writing, in case anyone's going to be offended.
No, you're blaming the choice of that person to be evil. He shouldn't have chosen that route. He should have been like, I shouldn't fall into the stereotype. I know I sound evil, but do I have to be?
If I sound evil, maybe I'll use a different voice, at least to throw people off the scent.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's just the natural, fate playing into the situation. I think this isn't the same thing, but I think about that with names, like Disney, for example. I'm like, if Disney was not named Disney, just like some other weird name, even if it was my last name, like, I don't know if I'd open up Hagopian Land or Hagopian World. It's like, it's really cool that his name was Disney and everyone was like, cool, Disney. Like, that's a good land.
That's a good, place of.
It didn't have to be. It's like
and magic.
But it inspires you.
It's lucky
because it's associated with his name, right? That probably wasn't the association when he was like that. Chucklehead over there. Disney won't be quiet or whatever. It wasn't whimsy. It's whimsical now because of the name. But thinking back, like, I probably Craigland doesn't sound cool.
I guess I'll shout out to this dude who I've never spoken to since high school or before that. This guy in high school was like, or it was really middle school, really, where he was like the trendsetter. I grew up in the early 2000s. He had like the big silver chain with like the sweater look, and he was always just like the popular, guy who you would see as a popular character in one of those movies. And his name was Billy Sweet.
Oh,
I'm like, that's a very hot name.
Yeah.
Like, of course, you should be. You should be the cool
name.
Yeah.
He's literally
Talk
the job.
into your microphone.
He's the guy.
Yeah, I love it.
That's so awesome. Was he like one of those? Was he a nice, cool guy, or was he an asshole?
He became a nice, cool guy.
I forgot that this was a school podcast.
Oh yeah, school project. Yeah, no, we became slightly friendly in high school. I didn't really know him too well in middle school.
He sounds like an awesome character.
I feel
right? It's a great character name.
He'd be the guy that would like take you with him through life and be like, don't worry, Billy Sweet's got you.
Billy Sweet is just a crazy good name. Good name.
I'm going to change my name.
Don't.
Owen Corey Sweet. No,
that's a cool name. No, that works.
I don't know.
I think Billy Sweet is just more like character. It gives more character vibes.
It has, I think you need to swap Owen out for something.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's because nobody calls me Owen here.
Is that your name?
That's my name, yeah, Owen.
Your
my first
name
is Owen.
They just call you Mister?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's either Owen, we're doing esports and we're starting early today and my team is messaging me.
Nice. That's fun. So is it a lot of video games and stuff at this group?
Am I making that sound? Are you on Discord right now? Is that what that is?
I am on a Discord.
I just didn't know.
I
don't think that
I never use
Discord.
Discord.
From me.
I don't think I get. Maybe I could have. I don't think I have notifications on my Discord, but
perfect. Yeah, so we're playing.
Yeah, I closed mine, so it's not me.
Do you hear that?
I do,
I'm
yeah.
hearing that.
I don't know what it is
coming
though.
from my phone?
Of Discord, no.
I do, so it's gotta be me.
Yeah.
All my fault,
The tab
everybody.
open?
Is
No,
that the Discord sound? The
that is
boom? I heard it, yes, but I don't have anything open.
Well,
Heck.
anyways, that's fine. It might be me, but that's fine.
It's okay. We'll
And I called out someone else last time for making Discord noises on our
Boom,
guest
boom.
last time,
Boom, boom.
and she was like, "Oh, sorry, you caught me," and then maybe it was me. Fine.
Public
I'm the
apology time.
Dylan, start talking like you.
Yes, you
Yeah,
answered my
oh,
Discord
man.
message. This whole time, it's been me.
That's great.
Oh,
I
and
would have
sweet.
talked like that though
Yeah.
all the time.
When Sweet, the what's it called? Probably terrible person if I
Yeah.
was going to be evil.
That makes sense. Yeah, normally evil means bad.
Do you see me as evil?
Man, I think it wasn't until you asked. That's the tell right there. I'm like, I think this dude's evil now.
I didn't until
Yeah.
now that you
Exciting.
bring it up. No, not evil. Good.
Not
We
evil.
were I do want to point out that year before last we were playing Apex
Mm-hmm.
for esports for our summer
Oh, cool.
competition, and what's really funny is it's really hard to get like 30 schools together at once to play at the same time, but we did, and our team won first place
Hey, great.
because we had a coach at the time and he carried the whole team. It was a lot of fun to watch. We live stream all of our games and stuff too, so we were just
Cool.
live streaming him just wrecking everybody. It was a lot of fun.
I used to be so good. I was one of the best, I would say, in the world, and then we
Because there
launched
was
the
5
game.
of I was gonna there's 5 of you
The
playing.
day we launched the game, I became the worst player in the world.
Hey, but at least there was a period of time that you were
I
the
felt
best.
so good. I was
You can
like,
admit that, and
I
you
was. Yeah.
You know, I this probably isn't a writing question, but as far as like video game difficulty, and especially when you do like multiplayer, you can come up with a system that's like, hey, Apex really cool. They all have these different abilities. We're playing inside and learning, and then you do like an alpha or a beta or whatever, and you have more people play. And then all of a sudden you get like the real players.
Yeah.
And those real players just wreck everything. And that's where you're like, okay, well, we found out that, and it could just be because of the numbers. You know, you have 1 million people playing versus like 6 people or 20 people playing in the office at any given time. Like, oh yeah, we're good, we got this. There's no problems, no bugs, no nothing. Release, and then all of a sudden, there's those 3 people that found every single problem in the game, and made it no fun for everybody.
Yeah. It's
not me. I'm not that good.
no.
It looks like I'm that good, but I'm not.
Yeah. I've never been good at any game, I don't think. Never like
Do you play?
I did at a time. I've got kids now. I just don't have the time to, a lot of games you gotta down in focus for 16 hours, and I don't have it. Yeah, I barely have a couple hours here and there. So no, I watch a lot of TV and movies, especially when my wife comes home. It's like we cook dinner, we watch, and then we're up early in the morning with the kids all day. So it's like a lot of that. I'm a big multitasker too.
Yep.
Like I need to do 5 things at once. I'm writing something, I'm watching a movie, I'm doing whatever. Like games is like you need to be focused on that, and I could do it for like 30 minutes, and then I'm like I gotta do other things right now. Yeah.
I totally get that.
So I'm kind of curious to ask, like, when was it writing games that is what you? Whoa, when was games what you wanted to do?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
my first job. That's why. That'd be mine.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. That's not inaccurate. I think so. I moved out to Los Angeles. I grew up outside of Boston, and I moved out to LA to follow music. And shortly after that, I found theater. So I actually started doing comedy theaters in LA, and I started learning. I studied at the Upright Citizens Brigade in LA, and then I came to New York and did the UCB in New York. Then I decided to just leave and move to LA completely and do the comedy theaters. I was doing improv and sketch comedy, and from from that, I started writing. I loved musicals, and I was in a band, so I started combining those, and I started writing comedy musicals and putting them up at UCB. So I started getting into that world.
Yeah.
So that was sort of like my creative outlet of writing. I was like, I'm going to write stories, but I'm going to write songs to go with those stories, and I'm going to do comedy because it's a comedy theater. So I started doing that a lot in LA, and I was putting those shows up. And then I wrote a show about Tanya Harding and did one about Amelia Earhart. And then I started doing an original with a friend called Assistants, which was about these 4 Hollywood assistants sort of trying to balance their bosses' lives with their own lives. We did that at the Fringe Festival in LA in Hollywood, and it did really well there. So we continued kind of workshopping it. When I eventually moved to New York City, where I live now, my collaborator and I, he also moved here. So we started putting it up in New York, and we did like a short off-Broadway run of that. And so that's all like stuff I still do. I still do theater with him, and we do shows all the time whenever we get the chance. But video games kind of came out of nowhere from that scenario where I was doing comedy stuff while also trying to get a job, and I was working on a reality TV show called Finding Bigfoot. So I was worked on that show for a season.
Hold on. How can a writer work on Finding Bigfoot?
I wasn't a writer. I was a researcher, but they do have writers.
Me.
You
Me
really
in Discord.
It is structure. Its structure of a reality show is very structured. It's you start with the setup, and then you lead to like the big little investigations, which leads to a big climax. I mean, it is really cool breaking. Yeah, you could probably like dissect any of those type of History Channel reality shows into a real clear story structure. So it does kind of teach you that. But my job was to like look on YouTube for people who have videos of Bigfoot and then contact them and then talk to them about their Bigfoot. It was weird and fun. But the woman who had hired me on that studio, I didn't go to college or anything, so I just kind of cold emailed these production companies asking if they needed someone free to work for them, and she brought me on and then gave me a full-time job. And then she was the one who connected me with Jesse when I asked her about writing for scripted TV, and so she was like, I can connect you with a friend of mine who's looking for an assistant. And did you find out what this is, what the sound is?
It's me, but I have zero idea how it's making it onto this.
That's fantastic. You're getting pinged left and right for esports.
Yeah, I had to do a coin flip, and we got tails, and I don't know what that means for us.
I think it means you lost.
So it's probably not going to matter if it's heads or tails. We're undefeated. They can stop it. Do your own. Oh my god,
boy!
There's even more. That's not.
Post is going to be so fun for this.
This will be great.
Like your ringer off,
but it's not coming through there.
Are you Bluetoothed? Are you Bluetoothed in?
I don't know why I would be, but I'm going to turn off
Bluetooth. Headphones on.
Oh, this is gonna end up poorly.
Boy.
Why?
It Bluetooth's off on the computer.
Okay.
Anyways, whatever. We'll
deal with
We'll
ignore it for now. That's
hilarious. But yeah, through her, you had that.
So she connected me with Jesse and brought me on to be. I joined him to do his assistant work, which was really going to the grocery store, doing grocery shopping, taking care of the dogs, house sitting, that kind of stuff. But he also kind of mentored me about writing, and then eventually, after like a year or so, the Respawn thing came up, and that's sort of how I got on. So it wasn't like I was chasing a game writing job. I was I was and it's just like
journey
the point is that it didn't fall into his lap. He's going out and doing things and like interacting with people and getting connections.
The important takeaway is that the
Making
people that you're meeting are providing you with the connections and opportunities.
Nothing is going to fall in your lap if you just sit at home.
Right. And not making stuff.
Go.
Like,
you were always
I made like a web series. I was a sketch writer at a comedy theater. I was working on anything, but it was all for free. I never made any money off of anything. That was a perfect sneeze on
It was.
I did. I'm so sorry.
No, it was great.
I made it into my elbow, but I'm really sorry.
You made it into your elbow and then passed your elbow onto my elbow.
I think now what are you going to do with that gift?
Teamwork. I'm gonna sanitize.
I would do that. I'm so sorry.
Well,
I turned off
bless
my
you.
phone so that I'm not getting Discord ping. They were all just posting GIFs because they found out that they could do GIFs in that channel.
Yeah, that sounded like a celebration
And then so
Yeah.
it was
moment.
30 or so of GIFs. And so anyways,
Oh.
they're not gonna be able to do that anymore
Yay!
because I
Good.
hate GIFs in Discord because I am not the fun police. No, I am
Yeah.
the fun police.
Wow, congrats.
You know what they're doing right now? Guess what?
Yeah,
We're
what are
in
you
a show.
doing? You're in a show?
Yeah.
Oh, what
that's-
is the show?
Yeah, we're in
Footloose the
Footloose,
musical.
the
Sorry, I
jukebox.
Footloose?
They're so good. Yeah.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun. I play Ethel, which is Ren's mom, the main character.
I'm Rusty.
Nice. Oh my
so much-
gosh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, it's so cool to hear that musical theater and that whole world was a part of your journey and, in finding your career. Do you have like a favorite player, a favorite musical or anything?
Oh yeah, 100%.
All the ones that he's written. Yeah.
No.
They're all the
I mean, it's hard to say because I've just seen so many recently. There's always like, oh, I love this because it's in my head. So let's say
Yeah.
most recently, if I were to say musical, my top 2 would be Hadestown and Come From Away. Those are my 2 favorite.
I love Hades
Mhm.
Town.
Yeah, Hadestown is fantastic. I've seen it a couple times. The second act of that show is just one of my favorite second acts I've ever seen in a show. Has anyone seen Come From Away? Do you know what that's about?
No, actually, I've never heard of that.
It's a smaller one, but it did really well in New York, and it's actually I think on Apple TV or whatever it's called now. You can watch a like recording of it.
Yeah.
It's the most beautiful story because it's based on a true story. It's about during 9/11 when all the planes. So there's a true thing is when that happened, all the planes that were currently in the air had different like emergency areas throughout the world that they needed to divert to because there was all no closed like airspace over the country. So this is about like I can't even remember the number, but it was like hundreds and hundreds of planes like landed in this small town in Canada and I think near like Nova Scotia area, in this small town that had like very little amount of people in it, like quadrupled or more like overnight, and there wasn't even enough room for all these people. They were trapped in the planes. This was before smartphones, and so people didn't even know like what was happening. They were trapped on the planes for like I think a day or something without knowing what was happening. Eventually the town kind of came together and invited everyone on those planes to their homes, and they all stayed, and they all developed friendships. So a lot of them came from different countries, spoke different languages, but they all became like united in this small town.
Yeah.
And still till this day, like they do like a reunion, and
That's really awesome. Wow. Yeah.
That is such
That's
a
so
charming
cool.
story.
Right?
That's so like
Yeah.
that
I
feels
love
so
the
bright.
connection and sense of community.
it's like that like
Definitely
folky, yeah, like folky type of music where the band's like on stage and they all kind of come out and play together, like the actors play the music. So it's a one act, so it's like a beautiful one act show that's just wonderful. So
That sounds
definitely recommend that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are like top
too.
musicals. Plays I just saw recently, Marjorie Prime starring June Squibb, which was a movie with June Squibb. June Squibb is like 96 years old. She's like one of the oldest people to ever be on Broadway. You can see the movie. I think John Hamm's in it, but the play was just like a fantastic version of that movie. It's about robots. It's about when your loved one dies, you can replace them with a robot version of them, and it's about that sort of like dealing with,
It's really scary.
but but it's all about like I wasn't able to talk to this person when they're alive, but now I can talk to them or a robot, and am I actually talking to them? Like it's kind of messing with your reality of like what it means to be a
bringing
human.
closure, but like also like very very dystopian.
Yeah,
Would mess
Black
with
Mirror
me.
did that too.
yeah.
I can't actually watch Black Mirror because it like messes with my head too much, and I can't.
That's
handle
good
it.
because that's what it's supposed to do. Because you're like,
Yeah.
oh crap, that can happen.
My older brother showed me an episode one episode, and I was like, never watching this ever.
Really? Oh, there's some beautiful Black Mirror episodes.
I
Love
bet
Black
there
Mirror.
are, and, like,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, it was an amazing episode, the writing was amazing, I was just so, like I was terrified because
Yeah.
it was an actual real thing that could happen, and I was like, "Wow."
There's some positive ones I think
Okay.
you can try to find
Yeah.
that I remember. I can't think of them right now, but yeah, there's definitely the ones that are like, well, did you watch them? Did anyone watch them? All of them?
Yes, all of
You know
them.
what I mean? Like where the one where I think they like the afterlife and the two women fall in love in
Yep.
the afterlife. That one was like the most beautiful
Oh,
one I've
that's
ever
cute.
seen.
Yeah,
And so
I
I
like
forget the
that.
name of that one, but I'm like, I
Yeah.
think about that one a lot, like just that. But yeah, you're right. They are kind of creepy and real, but that
Yeah.
one's like a kind of a
Yeah.
positive one, I think.
Yeah, the
Oh,
one
I'll
where
have
you
to
can,
watch
like
that
you
one.
can the parents can, like, choose to censor things that the kids can't see, and then, like, their vision is blurred in spots because they don't want
Oh,
them to
right.
see.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
didn't
Hmm.
I don't think it ended well.
I would
No.
imagine it would.
I started rewatching some like old The Outer Limits recently, and like those are all like they don't hold up, I don't think, but some of them are kind of very Black Mirror.
My
Yeah.
childhood is riddled with hiding when that show was on. My dad would watch it, and
You didn't
it's
want to watch it.
too scary.
Yeah.
What is the other one? Outer Limits, and there was
Twilight
one
Zone?
maybe, and I wasn't into scary then. I was
Yeah.
into being very anxious about everything, and that probably didn't help. Now I love, like,
Fair.
horror
Oh,
is
really?
really exciting
Mhm.
to me,
Same.
um,
I was the exact same when I was a kid.
but when you were a kid what
What?
I
what do
know,
you mean
yeah,
when
you
you
get
were a kid?
Were you
you are a kid.
what?
Is that
That's
what
the
you're
thing,
Well,
saying?
yeah,
okay,
that's
yeah, but, like,
You're
I was, like, a younger kid. Okay, I turned
Nah, we don't need to
18.
talk
No.
about that.
Whatever.
I felt the same. I was definitely scared of stuff a lot as a kid. I was definitely it's funny because I was kind of very terrified of X-Files, but now I have like an X-Files tattoo and I love X-Files, you know, like it's like
Funny how that works, right?
Do you think if you were a kid now, how scary, like, the realism would be in TV shows and movies like Stranger Things, right? Is that it is so well done and so like, the monsters are scary, and before when I was growing up, you couldn't distinguish anything really. You look back and it's all hazy and grainy and blurry and bad, but now it's, like, ultra high definition and surround sound and HDR and everything. I don't know how kids can see scary things now because that would have been terrifying for me. Like doing
Yeah.
VHS tapes and I'm like, it looks bad, it's scary,
really.
but I
I don't
think
know if I ever realized it because I didn't know anything could be better, right? Like,
well, and so I'm saying if you were to go back, if you were to be a kid now, would this might even be a relevant question to you. If you watch old horror media, is it scary compared to what we see now? Does that make sense?
yeah.
Do things look scary when they're old? Or is
A
it
little
like,
bit,
how would
yeah.
you have been scared of the Goonies? And I was like, I don't,
Yeah.
because they like went under the bed and it was scary.
Yeah, I remember going on, like, a fun family trip with, like, my best friend when I was in elementary school to watch The Goonies because with how rapidly CGI and, like, this, like, super high ultra definition has evolved, The Goonies when I was a kid is just like a fun family movie. It's not scary because you have, like oh, I'm trying to think of, like, an example. But I hear what you're saying because, like, I think we grew up in the time period where it was, like, all of that stuff was really
It was
actively
advancing
evolving
really fast.
very,
Sure,
very
yeah,
quickly,
yeah.
and it was terrifying. It was
Yeah.
absolutely terrifying.
Well, and I just recently
Hey, you got it.
watched The Thing because that was one of the ones where it's like, it's John Carpenter, I believe.
Mhm.
And I was just like, okay, I was too scared to watch this. And the idea freaks me out. Do you know what The Thing is? Body snatchers type stuff. You don't need to Google it. It's fine. But this is a short bit. And I was like, oh, that wasn't as scary as I thought. That actually looks kind of bad because that's what they look like. And I was like, is that what all old movies look like? How could people have been scared? But I think I'm comparing it to now where you watch something like Stranger Things or something, similar where, wow, those things look real. but they also looked real back then. But looking back now with my old eyes, they don't look real or scary at
I
all.
think things also can do the reverse, though. I feel that way about Tim Curry's It is much scarier than the present day It. Like,
Right.
I think when I watch it, it's like I understand what's going on. I kind of know, maybe obviously because I'm older. But like, I still wouldn't be able to like. I still get the Tim Curry as Pennywise is insanely terrifying, and the things they did there that were like non-CG. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like, and suddenly his face is all these teeth, and I'm like, that stuff is still holds up as being pretty terrifying. So I don't know. I think there's a flip there.
Obviously, the like practical effects hold up well. As even like Jaws and Jurassic Park, practical effects being completely awesome, and bad CGI is really bad. And I was watching the Halo show, and people criticize that a lot online because the CGI looks weird when the Spartans are running, but they also run as fast as cars, so it's going to look weird. Like, you don't know how to see a person run 40 miles an hour, so when they do it, it's gonna look goofy because people don't move that fast or jump that high, like jumping up buildings or, like, punching big monsters, whatever. It looks weird because that's not what things
It's
do,
not realistic.
Right.
Not
Right.
what you realistic to do.
and I don't know how you'd CGI that to look.
I don't know. I don't know how
I
you
feel
would.
that way about all the Disney live action stuff. It's like animals, I
Yeah.
mean, because it's like those animals look so real, but they don't scientifically don't have the anatomy to speak, right? Like like those aren't
Really?
that's not a thing. Like they just can't make that sound. They don't have
Yeah.
lips, or the
No.
tongue isn't that way.
I
You know?
know.
It's hard to watch
So
an
it's like-
animal talk.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. And so it's like when you're watching like live action movies with like very important animal characters, and it's an animal body, but their mouth is like moving how a human's would because they're speaking how a human would. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Very it feels.
Did everyone see the old movie Homeward Bound?
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yes.
bring that up.
Yeah, like they never moved their mouths in that, right? It was just shots of the animals.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
there, and it worked. I mean, granted, I haven't seen it in a long time, but it worked because it was just, I didn't try to justify it in my head as a kid, like, oh, they're
Totally.
There's
Or like
there's
That's the only one I remember.
Name all the character names.
I just remember Michael J. Fox, right? Was Chance.
The
I don't
old-
remember
there's the old
either.
guy.
Sally Fields was in it.
Did
It was the
That's right.
cat.
anybody ever watch what is it? Air Buddies?
Oh yeah,
or
Air
Buddies?
Bud. Yeah, all the Air
Yeah,
Bud.
like
Did his
all of
mouth
those
move?
movies. I don't think they're
Did he
in the
talk?
earlier ones. I don't think.
We here at the
Maybe they do.
initiative like to not know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. That's the
I don't know
point
either.
Fan of
of the
that.
podcast, is to learn. That's your initiative.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
He gets it.
on that note,
Yeah.
I was hoping one of you would jump in and say something profound.
Yeah, what's the profound? The mic
Okay,
thing
I
is
have
the
a-
profound.
I do have to do a like real question.
Okay.
Is this what you thought you'd be doing when you were in high school?
No. No, I thought I was in a band. I thought I'd be in a band
Yeah.
playing music. I don't think I would be writing video games, which is very different than most people I work with who have like been trying to get into games and working on games since they're in high school. Like, funny enough, that's the people I would work with and Respawn. Like, those guys all got recruited from high school. You know,
Yeah.
they literally were in high school and left high school to go make Call of Duty.
And
Yeah.
without knowing your actual age, and
Yeah.
you don't have to say it, and I don't want to ask. I
Okay.
prefer the air of mystery. This is the podcast of mysteries.
My gosh.
What in high school did you think that writing games was a career?
I don't think so. I don't think I thought about that. I played games like Half-Life a lot, but I don't think I loved the story in the world. I just never thought that there was like a writer. But I also didn't quite know writers overall for TV and film. Like, that was a thing I started. I had a friend who was doing that as he was working to be a writer, and so that was my first time learning like that was a thing, and getting Final Draft and writing stuff and whatever. So I never really knew about that world until I moved out to LA and started meeting people who were doing it, and I was understanding it, and games just kind of like happened. But no, yeah. I never thought I'd be someone sitting in front of a computer. I thought I would be more energetic and active.
one
Understandable.
that's what we all thought. And here we
Yeah. Here I
are.
am.
One thing that I like to think about is when people write books, and then you get somebody that does like, oh, here's the all the writing that happened in this video game compared to the book that somebody wrote, and the amount of dialogue, especially when you get into like those, like the branching narrative trees and all that, when people are doing voice lines, and just how many thousands and thousands of lines that are written and recorded. It blows my mind how much dialogue and writing goes into a game compared to any other media. That, like, movies are what, 2 hours long, and that's not a lot compared to the 100 and whatever hours that you have in
Yeah.
games as far as dialogue and story is concerned.
Well, here's my thought on that. I still think movies are more writing, because I think the branching dialogue and everything that goes into that for certain games, there's tighter deadlines to get things done. And oftentimes you're giving opportunities for different types of intents, not one very specific intent to make one very perfect line work. You're kind of more loose with it. That's not to say that, you don't care about it, but I definitely think there's a lot of side quests and different things that are kind of meaningless to the bigger sense of the story. So it's a lot easier to write a thing if it's not everything weighs on this one very specific line. In a movie, you're going to rewrite that script 1,000 of times, lines over and over again. So in the end, you're actually probably spend 10 years writing one thing. Whereas, for some games, it's a ton of lines, quantity. Like, I've written thousands of lines for Apex Legends, but none of them was like a very specific line that I spent 3 days trying to get this exact perfect line right.
Wait,
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Right.
He just writes slop.
Yeah.
You just need buckets full of content. Well, and I get the
some
point.
games do that, and I don't love that. I love it if it has clear intent, and that's when it comes down to what we talked about earlier, the world building aspect. That's why if you do have someone designated to doing that battle chatter and that, or branching dialogue or hub work, then they should have that clear direction of your intent is to build out this world in every line of dialogue that you are writing, not just a quick little thing to just give the player something fun to do on the side. I care more about giving that intent, which takes more work. It takes a lot more focus, and ultimately it becomes quality over quantity for that. If you're just doing quantity, then I feel like you lose that quality. Or unless you have 10 years to make the game. Like games like, obviously Red Dead and like GTA and everything, like they spend forever on stuff.
What about Star Citizen? Isn't that going to be out any day now? That's a little. Oh my God, that joke probably is from before you were even born. How long
I have
ago?
no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I also have no idea what you're talking about.
You were probably 0 when that game was announced.
Give me the year. Do we know the year?
Announced.
I don't, but
Was it 90s?
no.
I must have been -20.
So you were -20 at that day.
-20.
So we're gonna have to start wrapping up because
We have to get to our rehearsal.
they have to go
for
do
our
things.
race.
Congrats. When's the first show?
We're doing April 20 something.
Heck yeah.
29th, maybe.
Awesome.
The last day of the month is the
Last
first
day.
And are you theater people? Are you really into theater and
musicals.
everything?
Yeah.
Nice.
We're both doing a musical.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Well, come
Yeah.
out to New York City and see shows here. This is the
I would
place.
love
It's
to.
my literal dream. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah.
They have to go
You're
to
gonna see me soon.
Texas to be at the Military Esports League Championship first.
I'm so excited.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
do that
That'll be so
first, and
fun.
then
Yeah,
your
then
Broadway
we'll go to New
debut.
York.
Gonna need some money.
Yeah.
Okay, my final question
Yeah.
is, do you have advice for people in high school? This is for students as far as how to not think that the world is going to overwhelm you and that you're all doomed. I didn't say that. That's what they're projecting.
Of course.
That's not me.
Yes. My thoughts and feelings. Exactly.
Do you have any advice for students in high school about life, about whatever it is? It doesn't have to be about being a writer or being anything, but
yeah, I mean, my thought immediately goes to making things. You can make things. I look at this generation, and there's so many more tools than I had, and I had so many more tools than the people before me, but that doesn't matter, like it's ultimately you will get the work done if you do it. And this is a generation that has TikTok, it has Instagram and YouTube, that we're making things. And I still think, although it's give or take bad or good, it's still creating stuff. And I think there's so many opportunities to create stuff. So when I do talk to people who are like writers or creatives who want to get into the industry, and I'm like, yeah, they're like, how do I get in? How do I get into becoming a writer? Where do I have to go to school to do this or whatever? And I'm like, I didn't go to school to do it. I just made stuff. I just I worked a full-time job at a grocery store to make money so that I could put that money to losing it all and doing a rock festival so I can learn stuff. Like that's the
Were you
point.
the Fire Festival guy?
It wasn't that high. Oh my God. No, he didn't do the work. That's the problem. It was just the money. It was all about doing that work because you love it. And if you don't love it, then stop doing it. Find another thing but no, it is going to be work. There's so many things you can do. So I do talk to people who are like, what should I do? I'm like, well, what have you done? And they don't have an answer sometimes, or they maybe have like written a script and then they'll tell me like, oh, this is the best script. I know it's perfect. It's the best thing I've ever done. I'd love to share it sometime. And I'm like, no, it's probably not the best thing you've ever done. In 5 years, you're going to hate this script. That's not the thing. Like, and writing a script is also hard because it's just something that's like, that's one step to showing what your work can do. You shouldn't just write a script of anything. You know this from theater. You can easily get a couple of friends together and do a read through of that script. And now you're really seeing what this thing is. Now you're seeing it on its feet. You're seeing how people react. That's why I love theater, is because you can put things on its feet and see the reaction sort of right away, and you can change it the next day. You're never going to be done with it. So there's so many opportunities to do things. So just keep doing things. Yeah, the world's chaotic and insane and very difficult, and all the industries are really challenging. But if you're really good at something, keep working. You will be someone who everyone else will see as the person who's really good at that. And if you want to get into the creative industry, you're doing it because you love being creative. And that's the goal, right? So just be happy doing it.
That's really good advice.
That's a nice little tip.
Yeah.
That is a bunch of advice that a lot of people in the creative industries say. That's almost word for word of just create stuff.
Yep.
Is what is always said. Create stuff, talk to people, and like don't just sit at home and
let
do
your
nothing.
energy move instead of like keeping it trapped. If you've got an idea, make something with it instead of just letting it sit.
Initiative.
Yeah. Oh boy, take the initiative.
Yeah, so it was
So proud. So
incredible to have you on.
Incredible
That
to
was
be
a
here.
lovely piece of advice. It was really nice to learn
It
about
was
you.
so nice talking to you.
Yeah.
I think
Why you look so
we've
panicked?
hit
I think it's because
1
it's
hour
over.
mark.
I think it's because it's over. That's why it's so sad. Thank you so much for having me. This was super cool. I love what you're doing, and I wish I could come see your show. The show sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Good
maybe
luck.
we can have you in person sometime.
Yeah.
You fly us out to New York. We'll fly
100%.
you
Yeah.
up to
Deal.
Nippeck.
Absolutely. Sounds
Yeah.
like a deal.
Okay, we'll talk afterwards on that.
Okay. We'll
'Kay.
exchange
No,
credit card information.
Just give me your mother's maiden name and your
Yeah.
social security. I'll just start my own credit card for
Perfect.
you.
Oh, that's great.
And the security
It's
code.
her main name's Sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
so cool.
That's a callback. That's that comedy training. Go ahead.